support, show your love in this best of 5. It's Todak versus RRQ Hoshi. And immediately, we are seeing the first bans come through. The Joy, the Wanwan, as anticipated. Kaja coming in from RRQ, however.
Yeah, when you ban away characters like that with Kaja, it shows they want to play something, maybe Claude, right? Because they want to make sure their marksman, the hyper carry, is protected. Here we go. We got Kara being banned away, already Carry in 1-1, so not too many good goal lanes left. Actually, Beatrix and Claude can be considered, but at the same time, if you pick up those characters, you have to also consider the counter-picking lane.
It's very interesting, right? Because RRQ data has shown that RRQ likes that carry, but they realize they are second picks, so they will not gamble that carry and say, we don't have the first pick, let's just ban that carry. But for their last ban, Glue, also a very, very popular hero in M4.
I'm so happy. The more games I don't see Glue, the more excited I am for the M series. It's just an absolute monster in its own lane, respectively. But let's not forget that Todak actually has a drafting strategy here. Every single time they purposely leave Eve up, Valentina gets locked in. I wonder if RRQ are prepared for that.
I mean, I actually don't know. We'll have to find out exactly what RRQ has cooked up or prepared for us today. At this point on the draft, we still have Valentina, Farmis, Eve being available to be first picked. Now, if you don't ban any of this character, you can pick up, maybe take away if you take away Valentina and the enemy pick Farmis, you can take Eve to counter. Even Farmis now is not first priority because Eve straight up counters Farmis.
That's a really good point here. But overall, Farmis doesn't have the highest win rate here at the M series. We've seen it a couple of times during the group stages, and I don't know, I don't feel like it has as much impact as it did before. But speaking of which, the fact that Carry is gone, the fact that Valentina is gone, it feels like Eve, first pick as expected, already on the board for Todak.
Absolutely, Eve being taken away here. Now, for the set of RRQ, they can just pick away. Oh, the Hilda! Take the game to Todak here today. Very, very interesting. Right off the bat, they're probably expecting some assassin type of playstyle coming out from Todak today.
I can see just the ever slight smile coming out of Chiku's face there. There has been a little bit of adoption of strategies like we saw in yesterday's matches, especially when it goes on for a long series. You start to see the teams slowly integrate with each other.
I guess RRQ just replicate Todak's gameplay and playstyle and say, yeah, all right, you pick up the game, let me pick up the Hilda, the Malaysian style. I mean, Hawk also played Hilda multiple times, but in response, Hayabusa and Papokun Koopa has been picked up. They're saying, all right, we don't care you have two tanky fighters. I'm going to pick up Hayabusa. Why? Because Albert is also very strong in that Hayabusa. Taking it away, and to that, they have the Popo and Koopa.
Oh man, is this like a statement piece? Like, I don't care what you do, I'm playing my game whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's like a pick for ban, number one. Number two, like exactly to your point. They're really confident with the character that they can maneuver. Popo and Koopa is making a debut in the entire M4 series today. And we got Fanny being taken out by RRQ. You can hear the crowd just go wild for that Fanny. It's gonna be played by Albert right here. This is a really, really aggressive coming from RRQ. See, this is very interesting because right now we've seen how aggressive the teams can be yesterday from Echo and Team Hawk. Like, just diving into the enemy backline. This is what RRQ is preparing today as well. Fanny, Yuzhong, Hilda, we don't really see the EXP lane being picked so early. But not today. They just want to dive into their backline no matter what.
Look, I'm just happy the fact that I get to see Albert play Fanny, because usually it's not even on the table in MPLID, right?
And fun fact, it's Albert's birthday today, so we are going to open with Fanny from the birthday boy himself. And let's see, will it work? Because what they're saying is, Hayabusa, all right, you got the assassin, let me play my assassin. And for the second phase, it's quite clear, Lapu Lapu and Claude. It's going to be banned out.
Personally, I don't know, but is this too much of a gift for Albert on his birthday to get the Fanny in such a high-stakes series? All right, let's jump into the second part of the draft. We're seeing the Lapu Lapu as well as the Claude immediately banned out here. And if I remember correctly, from Todak's side... Oh, wait, hold up. We've got a quote coming in from Vin. Having the most games played in the M series, he's got 55, and this is going to be his 56th game on the world stage.
Wow, speaking of veteran players, they know the game from inside and out. Win being one of the best roam players out there in the entire series. So I want to see what Win is going to set up for us with engages. Because when you have a full dive with Hilda, Win's going to be a nuisance in the entire Todak's jungle. Especially Todak actually picked into that. Even after Hilda being taken out, they decided to go with Hayabusa. It's a little bit of questionable, leaving Lapu being banned away. Obviously Lapu can do really, really well against Zhong in lane. So in this scenario, I mean, at this point, what do you think RRQ is going to pick up next? Are they going to even pick up a marksman?
Honestly, I think they might hold the marksman off for now. I do feel Kadita might be, becoming a little hotter now. The fact that, you're up against Eve, and at the very least, Popo or Koopa, if you're able to close that distance, you can almost guarantee the kill.
Yeah, they need magical burst, so Kadita makes sense. And there you go, just right on cue, Kadita will be picked up. Now, I do want to add that Fanny has a lot of targets, right? He can target the Hayabusa, he can also target the Popo, and of course that Eve is very vulnerable, very juicy target. Now, to close out the drafts here, what are you thinking, Assassin Dave? They need someone that can peel for them.
I mean, they do, but at the same time, like, what choices are available, right? There are not too many PO characters, and we're going to have Martis most likely in the EXP lane. Since Hayabusa is going to be most likely 99% going to the jungle. When's the last time we've seen Hayabusa being flex pick?
Here's the thing. When you say 99%, every time I get flashbacks for MPL
my
MY,
God.
it might not necessarily be it. We'll have to see at the very end. Ruby gets locked in as well. So you telling me, I'm telling you, it's a little tough to say.
What?
Ruby could go into the support position. Martis can go into the support position, both of which we haven't seen in a while. Ruby more commonly than Martis, of course.
It's still so flexible, and you're right. Well, we'll see. Will it pay off? Will it be pulled off here for our first game now? Last hero here for RRQ. They have magical burst, they have the physical. What else do they need? They need someone that can be the back lines, Beatrix.
All right.
Of course.
All right. Walk me through this gold lane matchup. What should we expect pre-level 4 and beyond after?
I mean, Popo and Koopa is a character we don't really see much in the scrim practice before M4, but coming in Popo in the lane, I expect to play really aggressive because it does have to talk to buy you every so often. And Beatrix actually need a little bit of scaling now because of the iteration nerfs in the previous patches.
It does feel a little bit bad that, Wesker doesn't hurt as much, so you can just take up over like one or two shots once you get like your first item. But, things have changed.
Imagine Popo and Koopa combined with the real world manipulation from Eve. That's gonna be an easy turn for Todak to take RRQ. They need an answer with this strat, for this strat.
I don't know. I'm looking specifically at Clay. He's got to have some tip-top gameplay to take out Popo and Koopa and still make sure that Moon doesn't get out of his lane at all.
But who is excited for Elbra on the Fanny, though, as we walk into game 1?
Well, let's find out. Let's ask the people here who's excited for Todak versus RRQ as we jump right into the land of Dawn immediately. We are seeing purple buffs being started on Rival actually opting not to, as he is going to be on this Martis. The Hayabusa has been flexed.
Oh, wow, all right, Hayabusa, not right. What the heck is going on? Chiku guys on the Hayabusa in the gold lane with that high and dry and execute. What do you think about this, Ass Dave?
Todak always surprises us with their playstyle, with their switches, swaps. You can see Popo going to the goal lane, just bullying this Yuzhong right now because of the range with the help of Yumski. And on the other side, Hayabusa was execute. Once you get level 4, if you do one combo, the execute can help you secure the kill. Oh, look, a little bit of jungle invade coming out from Win.
Yeah, I mean, Vin is going right in deep. He needs to go through, but here comes Albert already with the steel cables looking for that first blood. He's able to flicker out of there as Vin walks out just in time. Clay manages to get just enough life, and Albert succeeds. Oh no, Rival succeeds in getting that Litho Wanderer. First blood rates as shown on screen, 87% and the majority leaning towards Todak.
It shows, right, that RRQ, we know RRQ as a very aggressive team, but Todak in M4, it's actually them who has a 87% first blood rate, so that speaks volume. While Todak responding, yeah, you want to play early game, let me play early game. Let's see though, Albert here is struggling, almost 2 minutes in, has not reached level 4.
What's stressing me out right now is the fact that if we're looking at both sides of the map, for Todak, it is a slight disadvantage because Turtle is going to be spawning on that bottom side and Purple Buff is on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, but at the same time, look at Todak. They're all in position and have more level 4 approaching this first turtle. Look at Rival is already getting on that bottom side though.
Yep, they find the initial catch and immediately Black Dragon
Whoa!
secures the kill onto Momo. That's first blood as Moon now in trouble, flickering out of the way under the turret as Rival finds the Kingdom Shore Sky
R7.
Guardian. They're going to be locking him down, finding the trade immediately. A quick execute. Clay still holding on. He still has his ultimate. If they walk up too close, it could be danger for Rival. They're sniffing him out as Albert has his purple buff and starting to walk down towards Turtle's side. Bin continuing to harass as much as he can, but here we go. Steel cables already out. The real moment manipulation comes through. Knocks up 2. Already gets it. Here comes Clay. Securing the Turtle and Martis in one fell swoop. Momo is not going to let that slide though as he continues to shoot them down one by one. R7 in the middle of the fight too. Doesn't want to get involved anymore. There's just too many numbers as they back away.
RRQ, they lost the neutral objective, but they secured and equalized in total kill points. Todak, yeah, they were forcing the fights, but fortunately the Clay, with the clutch rough waves, they actually managed to find the equalizer. 2 minutes spell check. Item check.
Yumski, what a play on a Ruby there. He waited for Albert to come in, and a beautiful execution of skill 2 to stop him mid-flight. When you can see Albert was going for Moon on the Eve there in the back, right? The moment when Eve showed up, you see the Fanny flying in, but not too fast enough. Yumski has stopped the Fanny in the mid-track.
Oh no, losing a purple buff as well. Not the end of the world for Martis at the very least, as he's not as dependent on it. The next play could be happening towards the bottom side of the map again. We see Fanny moving over and Yumski getting into the right position here.
Well, it seems like Chiku guys also secured his Thunder Strike. What it does, it adds movement speed and penetration, so perhaps he might go crazy the next 2 minutes, but take a look at the mid side here.
Yeah, they find the initial hit on towards Bin, but he's not the primary target here as the real world manipulation comes on in. Bin jumps in, moves in.
My God!
Into the rough waves, another beautifully laid combo. Moon cannot respond. Now, bottom side even getting threatened. The petrified Momo cannot do anything about it, but the Alpha Wolf keeps him alive long enough, but unfortunately it's just too much damage.
RRQ with a very sharp execution, and Todak, they are paying the price. And now let can see the pause commenced.
And this is why he picked the Kadita, the Fanny, the Hilda, right? They dive, and the synchronization is beautiful, one after another. And you can see how patient the Kadita was to wait for the Eve to use the roll more manipulation, and that's when you dive in with a full combo. You don't have to use the Petrify, save the Petrify until for the bottom lane, for the Popo and Koopa, and the double Petrify just to make sure the Popo is dead for sure.
Well, personally, I think that, again, the mid-synergy between Clay and as well as Vin has been looking impeccable, jumping onto the same targets and making sure there's just enough damage, because I feel like at this stage, Vin by himself doesn't have enough damage to kill Moon through the real-world manipulation, and the same can be said about Kadita until she gets her first item.
Stellar coordination as well from RRQ. What, 3 minutes in, and they are able to close out the gap. They are able to lead in kills as well. And what I love about RRQ is just their rotation has been on point. Can they keep it up though?
Well, let's see. We have been given the notice that we're going to be jumping into the game really, really soon. But for now, enjoy the chance coming out from the boys here in Jakarta. Shout out to y'all and your support. Let's jump back into the action.
Oh my gosh, I want to comment on the fans. It seems like they're excited. Are you guys excited for RRQ? Oh my God.
You got your answer. You got your answer, but now here comes the turtle. This is going to be a really important objective for both sides. It's going to be a potential no, it's not a 4v4, as Fanny's on the top side already chunking Chiku guys down to half HP. Bin's going to be starting things off immediately on top of Yumski, but for how long? Clay still waiting for an opportunity. He's getting dicey here. Woo! R7 himself jumps in to try to save his teammate, but it's too late. One goes down, and now it's a 4v2. It's not looking good as purple buff is being invaded at the same time, but RRQ have the right idea, slowing this turtle as much as they can until reinforcements show up. The turtle is so low. Martis is able to secure it. Here comes Albert for the potential freedom. Yumski is going to lock him down just enough. The cutthroat is able to find his neck. Now Moon is outnumbered. R7 is still chasing down Rival. Real world manipulation coming up a little late just to ensure that they secure the kill on towards R7 side mid lane. Continue getting attacked as Chiku guys dying over to Clay once more.
Mid lane falls and RRQ will grab another lead. But take a look at Albert here with the jukes, with the cables as well. He's able to get out from that, but from that trade, we have learned that RRQ grabbing that mid lane turret is not looking good for Todak.
It's not, and also the Hayabusa switch to the EXP lane has not been paying them any dividends. You can see so far, just get absolutely decimated by the Hilda CC plus Beatrix. Beatrix is skilling up already. Let's take a look at Moon. Moon has now reached 300 assists, ranked number 3rd in the most assists in M series.
What? Only 3rd? I'm thinking about how many more number 1 and number 2 have in terms of assists at this stage of the game. But with 55 seconds on the clock here, walk me through the potential fight. Wait, hold on. The catch out to Finn immediately. The Ivan Fendit comes on through. Clay looking for an opportunity to jump into the middle of the fight, but the opportunity has closed. Todak moves back. Snipe coming in for Skylar does not connect as they focus back on the waves.
RQ, they are now leading in economy here just by a bit. So what it says, Todak, it is still comebackable. But now RRQ, they need to be careful in picking their fights. Take a look at Albert. He is just grabbing jungles, waiting for information given out by his teammates to give the green light. So it's just a very, very sharp and well-coordinated RQ up until now.
You got to pay attention to RQ's playstyle. This entire game, when the rest of the team is dragging the attention of Todak, you have Albert just farming and slaying on the side. Not only did he steal buff, he's able to find a pick here and there. This guy is absolutely popping off today.
Oh, he got Chiku on a really good timing while he's clearing the wave, and he didn't have the Oki shadow kill, so really nicely played coming in for Albert. This is going to relieve a lot of pressure on that back line. Now let's see, Turtle is going to be started up. Finn once again being in that front line, trying to bait out as many abilities as possible, but R7 pushing out that mid lane, forcing Todak to give this objective up. Rival, he's thinking about it. Does he want to jump on in to try for a steal? No, he backs off. There's nothing much that he can do at this point, with the Malefic Roar purchase coming in from Chiku going back into his lane. They have to calm down.
In hindsight, I thought it was really smart for that switch, but now I kind of don't see the point here. You have Hayabusa is so prio, but in the goal lane, but let's see an in-game.
Rough waves coming up, Rival's too tanky. He's still holding on. How much more damage can he take? With the Petrify, finds the kill with Albert following up.
Albert!
Real one manipulation already coming up. Moon is going to get knocked out and instantly taken out by Skylar once again.
Bang, bang, bang. 3 bodies in the land of Dawn, and RRQ will expand their lead and space with 70 seconds for that first Lord to be up.
RRQ started off slow and steady, and now it's time to use everything they got to put a pedal to the metal. What a beautiful, beautiful execution there. Just one after another, chin CC to the death. I mean, you got to be worried about Todak at this point, because RRQ, when they skill later into the game, they only have more damage on to the Beatrix from Skylar, right? This guy's going to be one-shotting the Martis. Like, especially after you finish the 3-core item, the DHS, the Corrosion Size, the Golden Staff, it's going to be insane.
It's going to be a little too much indeed. Like, look at that. Yumski just eating it. He's too low. He's got to back off for now, but with this 4.4k lead coming in from RRQ, they've been against this matchup against Todak multiple times. They know their habits, their even dirty little secrets.
This is what I feel like. I'm not sure, but take a look at top side with the Petrify. Chiku, guys, with that shadow, no quad shadow, can still escape. But I do want to touch on, the composition from Todak. They lack peel. So nobody can really open vision, nobody can really open bushes, because RRQ, now they're ahead 5,000 equipments, and damage output will be evident.
All right, let's see as they start the Lord right now. Chiku, guys, once again getting solo killed by Albert in the top side of the map. Spicy stuff, Albert. It may be his birthday, but right now the birthday boy ain't holding back his punches. The Lord being taken with no issues whatsoever, and Todak unable to walk up close.
Yes, what a play there from Albert. See, when you have Hayabusa silent, the biggest problem is right now he's falling behind on split push. Right, the strength of Hayabusa can go in and out into different lanes, different situations. But in this case, the Hayabusa is kind of stuck in the side lane, so there's no surprises going to the RRQ side.
Personally, I'm I want to speak to you, Dave, about this Hayabusa, right? You played a lot of it. You have many games. When should we expect this Hayabusa to really start popping off and actually participating in these fights?
I mean, look at the Hayabusa's item. He still has not finished the Blade of Despair. Right now, who can he really kill? Right? Fanny is almost untouchable. Clay is always invisible, right? The moment he shows up is the moment you go to the dark screen, the black and white screen, right? Vin is unkillable as well. So, and R7 is only going for a backline. At this point, the Hayabusa's value is only diminishing.
And also, to add to that, take a look at the items. Fanny built Dreadnought armor for Hayabusa Shadow kills as well. Wind of Nature also secured by that Beatrix. So again, the power from Hayabusa is just very negated. Let's see though, the push.
Oh, this is going to be really difficult here. Todak right now falling behind at a 7.7k deficit. This Lord is going to be punching on through. Here we go. They find the hook onto Finn. They secure the kill with a chain CC, but here comes Clay. Trying to make the play on towards Momo's side. Unfortunately, does not complete the execution. But the style does onto Yupski. Once again, one-shotting Moon and getting back out perfectly as Nibiru's passion is already unleashed. Here comes Momo jumping into the middle of the fight as R7 opens things up and looking to zone them away. 2 members down, traded for 1, and an inhibitor turret falls into the hands of RRQ, extending the lead, but he's not done with it yet. Winds of Nature already popped immediately, and that doesn't mean anything. Chiku, guys, unfortunately the OP Shadow kill does not do much.
A good defense, but a better offense here shown by RRQ. They took the base top side and they grabbed almost a 10,000 gold lead in economy. RRQ, they are disciplined. They see no objectives on the board, so they back off.
Yup, Yumski once again trying to open up the map, getting that information his team so desperately needs right now. And immediately you're seeing the snowball effect coming out from RRQ side. Snipe? Nah, it doesn't connect just yet.
I mean, at this point, RRQ is playing patiently, right? Oh, the conceal play. Here we go.
They find it immediately, going for the full combo. Clay as well gets caught out, but 3 go down immediately. Skylar making the difference and a complete wipeout. RRQ initiate and end the fight.
They can end Gideon. They can end Assassin Dave. Take a look at the top side. Minions, they're doing it. They're doing it.
It's over already. Nobody's going to be able to get back in time. The wave clear, even Skylar switching over to Bennett. It's done. That's game 1. Going over to RRQ. Luminous Lord already spawning, but who needs it? GG, well played to RRQ Hoshi.
Game 1, it's gonna fall to the hands of the Kings of Kings. RRQ Hoshi taking game 1.
Why do you let Fanny out for Albert? You know, that is the biggest mistake ever. This guy is an absolute monster. He defies all laws of physics. Going to your base, diving. Usually we expect a step-by-step standard push onto the high ground tower, but when Albert plays Fanny, I can't ignore all of that. I'm just gonna go in 1v5, take down a mid laner, go to the bottom side and fly away.
Honestly, that's what I was talking about. It's like, it's Albert's birthday. Maybe Todak should not have gifted him the signature pick.
Exactly, and to add to that, their drafts is quite questionable, I can say, Gideon, because Hayabusa gold lane, question mark, because there are no real targets, no concrete targets. And to add to that, I mean, Fanny, the composition from RQ is just so mobile, if you really think about it, right? You talk Fanny, you have the Kadita as well, and Todak, they cannot withstand the pressure. They're out-rotated, they're out-positioned, the setups are clearly very sharp as well, and RRQ Hoshi with a clean game, textbook game in game 1.
Honestly, you kind of have to give credit where credit is due, and I think Skylar, his laning has been looking really well. But guys, if you haven't heard about it yet, yes, on me please, because M4's Battle Night is going live this January 21st, except loads of events and rewards are up for grabs in the game itself, so you might want to open your phone while you still have the time. First off, you want to complete the battle task in the game on January 21st to get the skin choice chest. You can choose the skin that you like the most, and obviously you're going to be looking for the one that you played the most. But aside from that, the battle bonus awaits for you on the same day. So play matches and you'll get team star protection for 3 of those matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP and double BP for 5 matches. But we're not stopping there.
We are not stopping there. Getting free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will be also available that very day. So save the date, log in to the game on January 21st, enjoy the merch and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including with all your friends.
So, defining moments in this game so far for you, Assassin Dave, because so far there's just a lot of moments that could have gone wrong for RRQ.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I have a lot to talk about this game, but I heard the analysts have something to say about the game as well.
That's a good point. With that being said, we're going to be throwing over to our beautiful, wonderful, amazing analysts sitting back on the second floor here in the arena. Please show us your thoughts.
Thank you very much. No one has called me beautiful before except for my mom. Now you're the second person. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the analyst desk once again. You're joining here with Jace, Wolf, as well as LaFell. That was a crazy game. Let's talk about the draw first. LaFell, what do you think about the draw coming out from Todak?
Yeah, what a way to start the day, right? And I heard, right? The casters, Gani, Gideon, as well as Assassin Dave talked a lot about it. The Hayabusa goal lane, I want to protect what Toda is doing, right? Because we got to talk about the laning phase as well as the power spike. The complete idea of this lane swap, putting the Hayabusa in the gold lane, is actually to win the mechanic fight between the Hayabusa as well as the Beatrix. If Jiku won a lot of those 1v1s, because look at his spell, he got an execute. That was the full idea. Ogi's shadow kill onto the Beatrix with the execute should be able to win the 1v1. He was not able to win the 1v1. Momo should win the 1v1 against R7, but the fact that they could not win it, it means they couldn't snowball, because the basic idea is snowball the lanes. Push as fast as you can with Popol and Koopa and profit. They could not do it because of how R7 and Skyr played.
What they did was to kind of put in the curveball, because they put in the Hayabusa as one of their first few picks. But you saw there was like Kadita as well as Hilda from the opposite side from RRQ. So you don't want to play Hayabusa jungle in that case. You are going to get invaded. With all due fairness to Rival, he made a wonderful case for this Martis, but it wasn't enough. Because when I was looking at both of the game drafts, because of the adjustments of Todak, they had severe lack of damage in the early stages because of their choices.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the breakdown on the draft. Let's take a look at the item builds. Anything that, well, especially LaFell, anything from the side of Todak that RRQ needs to be watching out for?
Honestly, for both teams, Dreadnought Armor is actually key, because earlier stages in the game, Momo built the Dreadnought Armor as well because he wanted to make sure that he can actually tank the damage coming in from R7. But as we saw, the dives coming in from R7 as well as Clay, it was amazing. And I kind of feel like that's really what set the pace of the game for RRQ to win, is that not just in terms of item, the Dreadnought Armor, because Toda and RRQ both built it to make sure that they can't get bursted down. And when they see the opportunity, they will counter-engage.
You can also see that the Kadita Clay played this in a position for a mid lane Kadita. What we normally see is Kadita will be played as a roam. But in this case, he went in for full damage. Penetration boots into the Cloud of Destiny. You saw that there was a part in the game where he only spent, what, 30 seconds to make a kill in the mid lane, transfer to the bottom lane, and get a kill for his teammate R7. So in just a matter of 30 seconds, he's able to make so much plays and so much damage can be outputted from this Kadita. They also combo it up with a to counter the Eve. I mean, you don't knock up or cancel the real-world manipulation anymore, but if you supplement the damage, it's still there. You saw that if they combine both the Beatrix as well as the Kadita, they will melt down Moon even when he is under the real-world manipulation.
I like that point, Wolf, right? The way to cancel out that Eve right now, it's not to try to CC her anymore, it's just try to delete her right off the map.
Exactly.
You remove the real-world manipulation, and all of a sudden, everything that that Todak wants to do, it just, you know, shatters apart. Now, we're going to go into the post-match and statistics very soon. I feel like, yep, I agree with both of you guys. The items here, more or less, not really the main thing. It's about the execution in the end. Don't forget, these two teams, Fated, Jodo, whatever you want to call it, they know each other very well. And unfortunately, RRQ emerged the superior team this time round. And now, let's take a look at the stats.
Yeah, looking at his stats right now, we can definitely see in terms of team fight, Moon was there all of the time trying to help his team out. But like you guys said, it's really hard for him to to do much in the game when he's always deleted all the time. The rich guy, Skylar, 876 gold per minute. This shows that Chiku was not able to actually put enough pressure to slow him down. The carry, Albert, one-shotting everyone?
Yeah,
what was
exactly.
going on?
Yeah, he doesn't even need to have like higher kill participation because if you'll notice, only Clay has the highest one. All the others, they have been playing almost solo if you think about it. Most particularly Albert. But that doesn't mean that they are not working as a team because what they wanted to do is to split the map, spread the members of Todak thinly so that they can pick them off one after the other. If you're looking at Todak, if they combine all their heroes together, maybe they can team fight against RRQ. But once they are separated from each other, that's when RRQ's solo and isolation kind of team fight prevails.
Yeah, so it's like a story about, building this nation, building this empire, right? RRQ, they divided Todak and divided Todak fall. Unfortunately, that is the case. I also agree with the fact that there's not enough damage coming out from the side of Todak. And of course, this is extremely exciting, but this is just game number 1.
I mean, like, here's the thing, right? This is why a lot of people are fans of Todak because that draft is a very high roll kind of draft. If you're able to execute what you wanted to do, it looks absolutely amazing. But the thing is, it's very hard to execute. So I want to see for the second game, will they continue for this very risky draft or not?
Knowing Todak, man, I mean, I've been watching you guys a lot, as well as, the MPL Malaysia. They are going to do something really crazy, for sure, the next few games. So, but then again, there is some merit to what RRQ did in the draft.
That's right. Let's take a look at the MVP. Goes to Clay.
Yeah, right now we gotta give a big hand for Clay. 4-1-10, match KDA, 78% kill participation. But what makes him the MVP is not shown by numbers. Every single time Toda wants to engage, all of a sudden he comes from the underground or under the sea, and then it's like, hello, bye-bye.
Yeah, I can really, I will repeat what I said about Clay earlier on. Yeah. He's very efficient. There was a 30-second window from him to go from mid to the bottom, gets 2 kills for his team, then eventually applies more pressure around the map. He's not resting at all. I mean, for the first 5 minutes, we're going to see his hit map. I'm pretty sure that he visited that quote-unquote XP lane, bottom lane in a way.
He went to R7 as well as Mo because he basically left Chiku guys as well as Skylar on an island because I think Skylar just said, like, I'm good. I can 1v1 Chiku. This is no problem for me.
Yeah, and with that said, right, just taking a look at the heat map, it's a lot focusing on the bottom side. I'm pretty sure this is where the turtle is mostly there because that's one of the biggest objectives that Clay wants to do. The fact that Clay literally painted that crosshair at the back of that Eve just eliminated the importance of the team fight, and Todak cannot somehow, congregate together for this massive team fight.
Yeah, there's so much vision as well that you can get out of from the Kadita because not only are you aggressive with the place with your oceanality and your rough waves, but if you combine it with the Hilda, you have so much vision already because you can roam around the map.
That's right, and with that said, let's take a look at the highlights. What went really well? What is the moment when RRQ managed to overcome Todak?
Okay, here's the thing. Usually when we casters say this, it usually means a bad thing. This is basically just a 1v1 all across the map.
Yeah.
But this is the one time where it's actually good. I kind of feel like when Todak goes up against RRQ, RRQ goes up against Todak, this is where they really shine, where they really show their mechanical prowess. It's a lot of 1v1s going on, and I feel like a lot of the 1v1s are won because of R7, because of Clay, and then once Albert gets like, what, 2 items, he's one-shotting everyone.
Yeah, this is a complete isolation play coming out from RRQ. Sometimes Albert will go for the 1v1, Clay and Skylar will combine together, or it's Clay and R7. Sometimes it's just a pure 1v1 between what? Look at this guy. Albert versus the majority of Todak. So isolation was the key for RRQ, and I guess that this time the Kingdom says divide and conquer.
Yeah, and if you notice at that very last moment, the concealed play coming up from Yumski, right? That was a nice adaptation coming up from Todak, but unfortunately, that was the game changer that allowed RRQ to just storm into the palace, take down the empire of Todak.
Hey, go big or go home.